I feel like literally nothing when I look at this set. Supreme Darkness is such like a weird thing. It reminds me a lot of like Phantom Nightmare, where there were like a lot of great support cards and like a lot of cool like individual one-ofs like Promethean Princess, Aba Aku. There was like some general support, like or like some archetypes, like the yugioh stuff. Outside of like those small batches of cards, which are relatively cheap, like the set just feels so boring. You know what I mean? Like, I know it's so difficult to like look at the high impact sets like crossover breakers or like Rage of the Abyss, because just a critical mass of these cards ended up just being super duper meta impactful, as well as you know, just little short printed special like Fualos, Impulse, Lordly Load, holy shit, $60. Deception of the Sinful Spoils. They had Lacrima, all the QCRs, they had like Ulcanix, they had the Azaminas, like very front-loaded, extremely turbo powerful decks like these. It can be very, very frustrating to have these sets come out time and time again. But at the same time, like getting the lower end of the spectrum, like the Supreme Darkness, where one of the most expensive cards is like a $20 Ether Barrel. Like, ooh, spooky. And again, like Meowls is a really, really powerful card, and it's gonna see tons of side deck and main deck play. And it's just like, I don't know, it's $50. Fuck, bro. Not that cool. And the Mitsurugi stuff, like, it was expensive on day zero, because I know I paid like $30 for prayers. But again, it's like an ultra. And in like a month or two, it's going to drop to like $5 or $10 a copy. Ame no Murakamo is going to drop to like $1 to $3. Even like a Bawaku, which decks only really need to play like one copy of, unless you're like on like this weird Extrav Lab build. Like sure, maybe like $40 right now. Oh my god, it's not even $40, it's like $30. Is going to be one of those cards that just like drops to like 25. It might see like a little uptick, might go to like 50 or 60, but it's not going to be like one of those cards where it's similar to like White Rabbit or like a CR Malice card or like a CR Yugioh card or like Fualos. There aren't any cards that exist right now that are kind of holding up that massive price point. And you could argue that this is a proper step to take in the direction of making Yu-Gi-Oh cheaper, but it even kind of fails at that. Because again, like a Mitsurugi core is like what, $100, $150? It's not that bad. But then when you consider you have to buy like a Yugioh core with it, and Yugioh is still extremely expensive. Like X is $75 a playset, Ice is $75 a playset. Like, what the fuck is going on, dog? It always feels like the support cards are always cheap, and those things will always continue to be cheap. But staples and deck cores that we know for a fact are going to be good, those cards always seem to be priced extremely high or put into sets where they're extremely front-loaded, like in Rage of the Abyss, where this was arguably one of the most front-loaded sets of all time, with like Fualos and Impulse and Lordly Load, blah, 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 you get the idea. God damn, I missed my Lordly Load. I wish I didn't crumble that shit up. And I really don't think it's going to get better. Like, I think everyone kind of prayed to God that, like, because 2 of the 3 archetypes in this set were going to be whatever it's called, they were going to be, like, meta playable, and it's going to be in a side set, it's going to be in a deck build set, it should be easy to pull. And then everyone realized, like, how many ultra rares are in a box of, like, a deck build set. It's, like, maybe 2 or 3, and you need, like, play sets of everything. You need triple White Rabbit, triple Malice in Underground, triple X'd, triple Ice, triple Sword, triple the other guy who no one cares about, double this, double that. And then yes, you could say like, well, people are starting to cut down on like X and Fiendsmith versions, and people are cutting down to like 1 sword. Like the Yugioh core is still like $150 to $200. The Fiendsmith core, let's not fucking forget that. Like the Fiendsmith stuff is still like $75 to $85. Requiem is still $5 for no goddamn reason. Like, so much of all of this just feels so needlessly expensive. Oh my god, Tract is $20. So much of this seems so needlessly expensive and frustrating. And I think that kind of does encapsulate my feelings for, like, Supreme Darkness. It just feels like such a boring set. There's nothing interesting in it. There's nothing front-loaded to chase outside of exactly QCRs. There aren't any interesting archetypes born out of it outside of exactly Mitsurugi. But that's basically just Yugioh support, if you really think about it, because no one's playing that shit pure. The staples in it are very interesting in the sense where Meowls is very narrow in its application generally. It's a good card, but it's pretty narrow. And Abawaku is going to see like experimental play at best, and it might be good, but it's not one of those cards that like changes the course of Yu-Gi-Oh forever in the same way like SP Little Knight did, or like IP Masquerena, or Promethean Princess. It just feels like Supreme Darkness was just so boring. But that's just me. Let me know what your guys' thoughts on Supreme Darkness were. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Content creator is like you do one of three things. Here's like let's say like tacos versus burritos. Like let's say that you want to be a content creator and like some drama is like tacos versus burritos. One side, I hate tacos, and another side is I hate burrito. I think both are valid with pros and cons. That's just me though. I wonder which one you guys think I am. Which one do you guys think I am? If you want to be like one of these extremes, it's very easy to. You can take an extreme stance and you will still gain a lot of views. It's just not gonna be 100% optimized. It's just like, think of it as like, if you're in the red, like I hate tacos, you get a lot of support from like this side. And like if you're in the green, you're gonna gain a lot of support on this side. You're gonna gain like a lot of consistent views, but you're not gonna be able to like maximize your profit, and like you're not ever gonna be able to get 100%. But if you're a fence-sitting little bitch like me, if you word your arguments just right so that people could get into their own heads where he's like, yeah, I think he's actually more on my side, or like the burritos are like, yeah, I think he's actually more on my side actually compared to the tacos, then you get 100% of everyone, and then they'll fight in the comments for you. And then they'll be like, no, Stevie said this. It's like, no, Stevie said this. And then you rake in that clicks per million. Oh. Oh, think of that money. Oh, it's just that easy. That's smart, I guess. It just depends personally on like what you personally like to make in terms of content, and like what your personal stance is. But when it comes to like issues like this, where it's like it can really technically go either way, I'm just like, yeah, fuck it, I'll fence it, who cares.